What's up, my piano friends? Zach Evans here, and today I'm going to teach you 4 simple chords that you can use to play hundreds of famous songs on piano and at the same time work on your improv skills. Now this lesson is going to be the super easy beginner's piano lesson. I don't care if you've never touched a piano in your life, you could learn this in less than a week. Most beginners take as little as 3 days to learn this. So this video is going to be a 3-part video. First, I'm going to show you the exact notes of the chords. Then step 2, I'm going to show you how to drill them into your system so they're rock solid in your muscle memory and you're not going to have problems getting hands together coordination and sloppy playing. And in the third section, we're going to teach you how to use money patterns, which is basically simple variations you can use to this chord progression that really add spice and add life and add pop to it. All right, so here's what the 4 chord progression is going to sound like. Remember, if this looks complicated, if it looks hard, I guarantee you, you can learn it and you'll see how easy it is once we break it down step by step. So here's what it's going to sound like. And it also could sound like this if we switch it up and use a different pattern. We could use the same 4 chords, it might sound more like this. All right, how many of you guys are excited to learn? I'm ready to go. All right, let's get started. All right, so to learn these chords, we're basically going to use a couple of music theory hacks to make it even easier to learn. Now, before I made this video, I went and looked up all the other videos that were similar to this to make sure that mine was the best and the easiest way to learn. And a lot of these videos, they'd be like, yeah, it's easy, only 4 chords. C, G, A minor, F. And they'd be playing these big 4-note chords and they're moving their hands all around the piano. And I'm like, this is not easy, especially if you're a beginner. If you've ever been frustrated with lessons that make everything too hard, we're not going to do that. We're going to make it super simplified for you right now. All right, so here's the 4 chords. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to put both of your thumbs on C. So to find the C, find the 2 black notes, 1, 2, and go 1 note below it. There's your C. Find 2 black notes, 1 note below it, that's a C. Now your thumbs are going to stay on C throughout this entire lesson, and your fingers are going to stay on the corresponding notes as well throughout the entire time. You never have to shift your hands. You never have to move your fingers. They're going to stay on the exact same notes because of the music theory hacks that we're going to use. All right, so your first chord is a C major chord. You're going to play a C in your left hand and C, E, G in your right hand. The next chord is a G chord. You're going to play a B in your left hand and a C, D, G in your right hand. Now technically, this is actually a G sus chord in first inversion. I don't want you to memorize that or even think about it if you're a beginner. Just to simplify it, we're just going to call this a G chord because it serves the same purpose. Now our next chord is going to be an A minor chord. So it's going to be an A in your left hand, C, E, G in your right hand. Now again, technically this is an A minor 7th chord. We're not going to worry about that. We're just going to call this an A minor chord to keep it simple. And the last chord is an F major chord. So we have an F in your left hand. We have C, F, G in your right hand. This is technically an F add 9 chord, but we're just going to call this an F chord to make it simple. All right, so now we have our 4 chords, C major, G major, A minor, and F. Now I want you to stop right here, and before you think, hey, I'm going to go rush off to my piano, I have the notes already, I'm just going to learn this, I want you to really encourage you to watch the rest of the video, because a lot of people, they go off and they don't learn it correctly in the right way, and they don't really drill it into their muscle memory correctly. And then what happens is they come back and it's very sloppy and they have trouble getting hands together. So I want to really encourage you right here to watch the rest of this video. We're going to talk about how to drill it super deep into your muscle memory. All right, so the first part of this, we're going to just work on the left hand. Now the left hand is a lot easier than the right hand because you're only playing 1 note at a time, where your right hand, you're playing 3 notes at a time. So what we want to do with this left hand is get this thing so rock solid that you could play this thing in your sleep, right? And what we're going to do, how we're going to do that, is we're going to use the 4 rhythms, which is a very common strategy we use in piano to drill in really deep muscle memory. All right, so here's how it works. The 4 notes in the left hand are simply C, B, A, F. So first, we're just going to repeat that 4 times, right? You're just going to go C, B, A, F. So I want you to pause the video now, repeat that 4 times. All right, now the next step is we're going to run it 4 times using the first rhythm. So the first rhythm is simply long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. So you're going to play it exactly like that using the rhythm long, short, short. And you're going to repeat that 4 times. All right, the next step, we're going to use rhythm number 2. So this rhythm is just the reverse of the rhythm we just did. It's short, long, short, long. Sounds like this. Short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long. Easy, right? All right, now before we go into rhythm number 3, I actually kind of want to give you guys the PDF cheat sheet right now that I'm thinking about it. I was going to give it to you at the end, but I think it might be helpful to give it to you now. That way you don't have to memorize all these rhythms and you have it just in a PDF form that you can print out, or you can just leave it on your laptop and it's going to make it a lot easier. All right, so to get the PDF form, all you have to do in this video, in the description, and also I'm going to put a link somewhere on the screen. It's going to say click this link, and you click that link and it's going to bring you to this page. And this is to sign up for my free course. Yes, it really is 100% free. A lot of people are like, oh, is there a trial period? No, there's no trial. There's none of that BS. It's 100% free. So all you got to do is click here to sign up, enter your first name and your email. It'll take like 15 seconds. Once you hit get my free lessons, it'll take you to this page. Now, this is the main page that has all the lessons in my free course on it. I want you to ignore all these for now. Actually, if you have time later, come back to these, but scroll all the way to the bottom where it says extras. And this is where I put all my extras for my YouTube videos. And click on the one that says learn 4 chords, learn hundreds of songs, money patterns, and PDFs. If you click on this, it's going to go to the page with all the extra resources on this lesson. And if you scroll down to the bottom, by the way, if you want to see all the songs you can play using this chord progression, there's going to be a video here. It's a very famous video. You might have seen it already. But for now, I want you to scroll past that where it says PDF cheat sheets. And if you click this link, it's going to give you the cheat sheet for this lesson. And you'll notice it has chord 1, chord 2, chord 3, chord 4. And if you scroll down to page 2, boom, all the 4 rhythms right here. So you don't have to waste time trying to memorize these. You can just download the cheat sheet. All right, so what I want you to do is pause the video, go download the cheat sheet, and then come back when you have it. All right, so at this point, we've done the normal rhythm. We've repeated it 4 times. We've done rhythm 1. We've done rhythm 2. So we're going to move on to rhythm 3 right here. So it's going to be the pattern long, short, 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 long, short, short, short. It's going to sound like this. Long, short, 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 long, short, short, short. So I want you to pause the video and do that 4 times. All right, once we've done that, we're going to move on to the final rhythm, which is just the opposite of that rhythm. It's just short, 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 long, short, 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 long. So right now I want you to do short, 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 long, short, 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 long. All right, you're going to repeat that 4 times, and then you're going to do it one last time, not using any of the special rhythms. So you're just going to do, and you're going to repeat that 4 final times. Now, I really want you guys to not skip this step, and I hope you can see, and let me know in the comments, can you see how learning it like this is going to really drill it into your muscle memory, as opposed to just repeating it over and over and kind of learning it sloppily? We're like, no, we're going to learn this thing rock solid 100%. All right, let's move on to the next step now. Now we're going to start adding in the right hand. All right, so the right hand has 4 chords. But we're actually going to simplify it more than that. And if you'll notice, these chords, the outside of the chord stays the same, right? You have your 1 and your 5 on the C and a G, and every chord has these notes, right? I'm going to play 1, 2, 3, 4. You're always playing the C and the G, so these don't change at all. So what we're going to do before we add the middle note is we're going to get really used to playing these outside notes with your left hand. So what I want you to do now is you're just going to play just these 2 notes, and then you're going to play this same left hand pattern going down. So it's going to look like this. And then you're going to move down to the B, and then the A. Your right hand is saying exactly the same. And you're just going to repeat this over and over and over and just drill it into your muscle memory. Now, if you're having trouble getting hands together, what I want you to try is, one, I want you to slow down. Likely you're going too fast. The second thing I want you to try is I want you to stare at your left hand. And literally sometimes I actually bring my head down and literally just stare at my left hand while you're playing this, and really just stare at it and just think, what's the next note? It's a B, my right hand staying the same. What's the next note? Next note is A minor. Next note is going to be this F. And my right hand staying the same the whole time. All right, so once you have this rock solid, guess what? I have actually some really good news for you. You could stop here. You could literally stop here and start gigging. Now let me show you what just this sounds like when we add some money patterns. And we'll talk about money patterns later, but you could start playing this. Right, that already sounds cool. We haven't even added the middle note. You could literally stop the video right here and start gigging right now. But guess what? You're not going to do that. Why? Because you want to get to the next level of piano, right? You want to keep improving yourself. So I just want to let you know, though, that even at this point, you're already good. But now let's add in this middle note to take this even to the next level. All right, so the middle notes, it's a very simple pattern. It goes E, down to D, back up to E, and then up to F. And you just repeat these four notes over and over and over again. Now what I want you to do with these four notes is I want you to practice these four notes in the four rhythms, right? So pull up that cheat sheet that you had. Hopefully you've downloaded it by now. And I want you to practice it using the rhythms. Now, when I taught you the rhythms before, I walked you through the whole process and I really held your hand and said, okay, now we're going to do rhythm number 1, repeat it 4 times. And I really held your hand through it. But for this, I want to stop holding your hand because I don't want you to be dependent on me as a teacher. I want to kind of let go of the handhold and let you experience the rhythm so you really are doing the learning and not just copying what I'm doing. Does that make sense? So right now I want you to pause the video and do the rhythms on these 4 notes. All right, so once we have these drilled in, now we're gonna add the outsides with these middle notes in it, all right? So this is the point a lot of times where people start freaking out, all right? A lot of beginners think, wow, I'm playing 3 notes at the same time. This is really hard. But if you think about it, you've already learned these 2 notes. These 2 notes stay the same, and you've already learned this pattern. All we're doing is putting them together. So don't freak out, and remember, if this is seeming a little overwhelming at this point, remember that this is the point where you really learn, right? You don't learn when stuff is easy. You learn when stuff is a little challenging, when it's overwhelming. So if this is getting hard for you right now, I want you to stick with it and push through to the end because it's going to be worth it once you come out the other side and you can play this. All right, so to simplify it a little at the beginning, I want you to do 2 chord alternates. And what that means is you just alternate between 2 chords. So we're going to take our first chord, C major, C, E, G, and just the next chord, our G major chord, C, D, G. So the only thing that changes is your middle finger goes from your E to your pointer finger at a D. So just you alternate between these 2 chords and just drill this until the cows come home. Drill these 2 chords until you can do it in your sleep without even thinking about it. All right, now the next step is we're going to take the last 2 chords of the progression. So we're going to take the C chord, and now we're going to move this E up to this F. And it's going to look like this. And now we're going to alternate it. Back to this, back to the F, back to the E, back to the F. And boom, I want you to run that again till the cows come home, till you can go to sleep and do this in your dreams. You know what I mean? So I want you to really solidify this. All right, so once you have that rock solid, now we're going to do all 4 chords. So we're going to start off on the C chord, and we're going to move this E down to a D. Then we're going to move back up to the E, and then we're going to move up to the F. And I want you to just keep repeating these 4 over and over and over. So they just drill into your muscle memory. So when we put our left hand, now it's going to be a lot easier to get everything working together. All right, we're on to the final step. If you made it this far, congrats, you made it a big portion of the way. Now, before we add this last step, I want you to do something for me right now. I want you to go in the comments and leave one of two comments. Either, hey, Zach, I got it. This is good. I'm good at this point. Or Zach, I don't get it. Here's why. Here's the part of the lesson I don't understand. Now, there's two reasons for this. One is for me and one is for you. One is for me so I can say, hey, people are getting it. My teaching is working. I'm going to keep explaining this way. And one is for, and if you don't get it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to all the comments and I'm going to respond to them. And if someone doesn't get it, I'm going to explain it further. That way, what I want to do is I want to build up this whole comment section that's like a reference. Right? How cool would that be? So I don't leave any student behind, and every student's going from square one to square 100. And if they have any problems along the way, they can just scroll down to the comments and they'll have the answers right in the comments. Let's build this piano community where we all help each other out. That's rule number one. Reason number two is there's been so many studies, and you probably know this already, that have shown the more that you engage with a lesson on piano, the more you will learn and the more you will retain. And so by just commenting on a YouTube video, you will retain more information by doing that. And I've noticed what a lot of really smart people have been doing in a lot of my YouTube videos. They go in the comment section and they just summarize the entire video up until this point. Now think about how powerful that is. They go down there, they summarize everything that's happened up to this point. Think how much that's going to make your brain retain this information, have to go back and learn it and really retain it for the long run instead of just watching this video and forgetting everything right afterward. All right, so once you've left a comment, now we're going to go on to the final step, which is getting hands together. Now, hands together, it's going to look like this. But we're going to learn it just the same way we learn these middle notes in the right hand. We're going to take two chords at a time and we're going to alternate between them. All right, so the first two chords are C major. And then all we're going to do is we're going to move the E down to the D. And we're going to move this C down to a B. So E and then D. And you'll notice my left hand goes from C to B. And just alternate these two chords over and over. Now, if this is already too tricky for you, what I want you to do is sleep on it. Now, if you're a complete beginner, a lot of times this is the point in the lesson where you can't get it even by practicing it a lot. And the reason is when you sleep on it, it consolidates all your muscle memory. It consolidates a lot of your learning. And a lot of times as a beginner, you have to consolidate it for a night or maybe even 2 nights before it all clicks into place. So if you're having too much trouble, sleep on this and then come back the next day and I want you to go through this entire video again and repeat all the steps, really drill that into your muscle memory and then move on to this step. All right, so once you've alternated the first two chords over and over, now we're gonna take this G chord down to the A minor. So G to the A minor. Now this one's a little tricky for people because we're moving in opposite directions. We're moving this D up to the E and we're moving this B down to the A. So they're moving to the outside. That's how I like to think about it. So we're gonna take our G chord and move down to our A chord. And just repeat this over and over and over and just alternate these chords into your muscle memory. All right, now the next step is we're going to take the next two chords. So we're going to take this A minor chord and move it to our F chord. So all that changes is this A goes down to the F and this middle E note goes up to the F. So again, we're moving towards the outside. So it's going to be A minor, F, and you're going to just repeat that. A minor, F, and just drill this into your muscle. Sorry, my camera stopped for a second to cut out, but no worries. We'll move on to the next thing. All right, so the next thing is we're going to take all 4 chords. Now, hopefully you understand the benefits of doing 2 chords at a time and really drilling them in. A lot of people skip to this last step and they get really frustrated because they can't get hands together. And it's like, yeah, because you took too many at a time. But you're disciplined, you made it this far, let's finish this off. All right, so for the last step, we're going to do all 4 chords in a row. So C major. Now we're going to go to our G chord, and then to our A minor, and then to our F chord. And we're just going to repeat these same 4 chords over and over and over until they're drilled into your muscle memory. And once you have this, congrats, you have the basic structure of the chord progression. Now the next step to this, to really make it pop, remember we're going to talk about money patterns and money variations. So basically what this is using the same notes. We're not changing the notes at all. We're just changing the rhythms of it and how we play the notes. So for example, instead of playing just normal notes like this, we're going to have some money patterns that might sound like this. Or it might sound like this. Now, this kind of stuff, I was going to put in this video, but honestly, this video is going to be like super long if I put it in now. So I'm actually just going to add it to that same page where you got the PDFs. So if you don't remember, you can just click the link in the video, sign up for the free course, scroll all the way to the bottom, and click on the link that says learn 4 chords, learn hundreds of songs. And that's going to bring you right to this page. And this is where you can get the money rhythm patterns, the money arpeggio patterns, and the money variations. Now, these aren't actually called money rhythm patterns. To be honest, I just thought it sounded cool, and it sounded a lot more cool than, oh, learn the new patterns. But the money patterns are the ones I use all the time. They're my most used ones. So I like to call them kind of my money patterns, if that makes sense. All right, if you've made it this far in the video, I want to give you a quick congratulations. Seriously, you have no idea how many people watched probably 20 seconds of this videos, and they got too lazy and they clicked on cat videos on the side of YouTube, and they spent the last 5 hours of their life watching cat videos on YouTube. You're not one of those people. You're someone who's dedicated to improving themselves on piano and to really putting in the time and the effort to learn. So seriously, I freaking love that attitude, and I love that you're still with me at this point of the video. All right, hope you liked the video. If you could leave a like on the video, I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to see more videos like that, hit that subscribe button and then hit the bell to get updates anytime I release a new video. All right, thanks a lot for watching. Peace out and happy practicing.